everyone. I'm Sophie Booth here on behalf of DSB Live, and we are here today to have our September sports highlight. I'm here with Mr. Musi, and we're going to be looking at Dysart High School football team today.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're going to talk about football and the start of a year, you need to start, right and go right to Dysart High School and look at the program that they have there. That's a program that has such a rich tradition. Coach Ganados, who's been there for a long time now, knowing his history and his track record over there. And he has 3 outstanding athletes that are returning this year that are here to talk with us today on their successes from last year and what's happening this year.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear from them, and also Coach Ganados, especially because he has been leading that legacy for so long. He's been there. He went to high school there. He played ball there, I believe. Yeah.
Absolutely, and he played ball there. And that's why he knows that community, and he connects with the school very much. You talk about a rich tradition and what he's building there. I mean, you're talking a team, that just came off of making the playoffs last year.
Right.
And so the success is only building, and anytime you come out to those stands, they're packed. And a lot of that is the culture that he's built over there with that administration, and that school community. So we're really excited to talk to some great senior leader athletes that have had a lot of success in that program and that are really the captains of that team.
Yeah, and it goes into Coach Ganados having such a great connection with his players as well. Let's recap a little bit of last season. So they got really close to playoffs.
No, they did. They got in. They made it into the postseason. They had a disappointing loss early in the postseason. But anytime you make the playoffs, and you'll probably hear the coach talk about this.
Yeah.
That's only going to breed more success because the kids get a little bit of taste of that postseason play. It gets you excited.
Yeah, then they're fired up.
Gets you excited.
And I think we're really going to see a lot of that this season. They had a rough start to their season then, but then they bounced right back. And last week, they won their game.
Absolutely. They had a great victory last week. You have a team that's 1-1 right now, but they're going to be moving forward. Their schedule's a little tough early, but you're going to watch a team that's probably, as they keep going, they're going to see that they're going to be very competitive, and they're going to roll it and get a lot of victories. We're going to be talking, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
You can never make a prediction, but I'm sure we'll be talking about postseason for these guys and one of our more successful football programs here in the West Valley.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see how they play out this season and to hear from them today. So why don't we roll into a commercial, and then we'll come right back and hear from Coach Ganados. All right, everyone, welcome back. Now we're going to see a little bit of our coach, our Dysart High School football coach, Coach Ganados, and Mr. Musi. So last week, Dysart won their game, and we're going to hear a little bit about it. Let's send it back over to the desk.
Well, thank you, Sophie. And I get an opportunity to sit here with Coach Ganados and the traditions I talk about with him and everything else. And he's been doing this for a long time. I mean, his coaching. How many years you been? You've been in the football scene. How many years at Dysart High?
10 years at Dysart, and I've been doing this for about. I started at Dysart in 1992 as an assistant coach, and I was at T-Bird for 16 years, and I've spent the rest at Dysart.
Yeah. So the program you're building there, I want to hear about that. I think that's what our audience needs to know about building off of last year. What kind of program and where you see where you think things going this year?
It's going great. Thanks to you and the district and Dr. Croto and everyone else supporting us and the great athletic director that we have, we ran out of equipment. We literally have 48 on the varsity roster. We had 25 last year going to ALA. So the numbers have almost doubled. Kids are excited. So it's been very different.
You know, when you talk about that too, and you talk about the kids coming out, that's leading me to believe that you're very young, that it's a program that's also got a lot of youth in it. And also when you see that happen, sometimes kids that I've experienced in coaching is that if they haven't succeeded, it's almost scared to succeed. Like it's like they're okay with the taking the loss. But I'm betting now, just having some of that success that you've built up from last year, that kids have built on that now, and that they're walking out there with almost a little bit of different attitude and edge to their game.
Yes, making the playoffs helps a lot, especially when you played ALA in back-to-back weeks. We didn't like the draw, but that's how it happened. And whoever's on that schedule that Friday night, we're going to play them, and we're going to play the Dysart way. We're going to be physical, and we're going to get hit, and we're going to get back up, and we're going to get punched, and we're going to back up. But I feel like with the playoffs, two good teams like that, and then going into Benjamin Franklin, which is one of the top 3 teams in the state, and it was great to see where we're at, and the way we responded on the following week, that helped us and showed us where we're at. We're still not there. We got a tough team coming up this Friday against Sabino. They're probably the best 0-2 team in the state, and we're excited for the challenge.
Well, before we get into that game of it too, I do want to point out and to our audience that you look at last week's game and the way you guys came out, and really punched Santan in the mouth a little bit. But I think to talk about that and highlight, because you had to be proud about the way the kids came out there, and even you had mentioned to me about some of the challenges early in that game, and just because mistakes are going to be made. We understand that, but how the kids responded.
Yeah, we had 5 turnovers on the first drive. We had a 6-minute drive. It was beautiful, and we fumbled the ball at the 1, gave the ball up, and then our defense shut them down. And normally in the past, this is the difference from being a playoff team and knowing how to win and how to execute. The wheels would have fell off. It would have went backwards. And the kids were on the sideline, getting pumped up. It was positive on the sideline, and then the next thing you know, we scored a touchdown, and then we had another touchdown, and it just carried on from there on out. And our defense made some great stops.
And Coach, that's a credit to you and your coaching staff. And I know you had mentioned to me at Media Day, you felt like this is one of the best coaching staffs you've had put together, within your coaching career. I just wanted you to mention them a little bit, because I know you're very proud of the work they're doing with the kids.
Right, yeah, and every head coach is going to say, you know what, I have the greatest coaches, and I truly feel that I do. I mean, the hours that we put in, just like everybody else, it's just gelling right now, and when you win, it helps. Kids show up at 4:30 a.m. for practice. They show up on weekends. No one's injured. So it feels great, but I think the biggest part is my lower level coaches. They're really detailed, and the feeder teams that we have now are starting to filter in where the kids do know how to play football, and we don't got to reteach it.
That is a huge piece to it too, is what you're building at lower levels and what you're doing. So are you starting to see some success of the feeder school programs and and getting out there? Are you starting to see that kids are starting to get involved a little bit earlier?
Oh yeah, I was just at practice this morning, and there was 51 lower level kids out there. I mean, that's more than we had in the whole program the last 3 years, and it's exciting. That's not even including the varsity. So these kids are, they're with our junior demons, and they're filtering in now. And I know next year we're supposed to get like 25 kids.
Yeah.
And that already play now that are 14U that are just going to pop right in. So it's exciting where it's going.
Demon Nation, and that's what we're doing. We're seeing it over there, and I say that to our audience. If you're looking at a program to be involved in, and you want to, high school, you get your choice on. I would be the first one. I'd tell a family and a kid, hey, you need to get over to Dysart High School. It's an A school.
Mm-hmm.
The academics are outstanding. You've got a great administration over there, very supportive. A teaching staff that's fantastic. And they're a culture of school that's having a lot of success right now, and a lot of that's built on. And I mentioned that with what you're doing with, I think a football program breeds that success. So you're watching that happen, and it's carrying over. As you look at this upcoming week, and you talked about Sabino, obviously you have expectations for that, but sounds like the first part of this season is pretty tough.
Oh yeah.
For you guys.
Yeah, it's very tough. We have our schedule just goes boom, boom, boom. We have Valley Christian next, and then Seton Catholic's in there. So if we can weather the storm and just come out of there healthy, I'm excited because we literally have 5 to 7 starters that are sitting out right now for the first 5 games, and we get them back, and they will start Game 6. So we're excited for region play.
That's outstanding because, to get those other kids involved and be able to, and they're already obviously involved, but you're bringing some kids back into the, getting them going. This is exciting to watch. I can't wait to see. So we have a home game coming up here. When's our next home game?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday is our next home game. So, and that would be the, what's the date of that? The 12th? Does that sound right? 11th? I think it's the 11th. Yeah, so we're looking forward, and we want to see a healthy crowd out there. We're going to be out there rooting on our demons, and Coach, as always, we get a chance to talk to a few of your players here in just a minute. So, just looking forward to watching all this success and watching you continue to build just that great, outstanding program.
Well, thanks for having us. We appreciate everything you guys do for us.
Absolutely. We'll be back in just a second.
Welcome back, everyone. It was great to hear from our coach, who is just as determined as his players. So now I want to get into a little bit of Dysart High School's players. Today we have Pablo, and he's been playing all 4 years. He plays right tackle, and he's a senior. Let's take it over to the desk.
Thank you, Sophie, and we're sitting here with Pablo. And Pablo, for our audience, you want to tell them your full name and also what year and what position you play?
My name is Pablo Miramontes Garduño. I'm year 2026, and I play right tackle.
Awesome. So you're a senior with the team this year. 4 years at Dysart High School?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Did you grow up within the El Mirage community?
Yes, I did.
So this is for you, when we talk about tradition and what Dysart High School is about, you know the traditions and what that school is built
Yes,
on.
sir.
Outstanding. So when you look at this, start of this season, and you think about it, I want you to talk about being a senior leader. Take us back into when did it start for you for getting prepared for the season? I don't know if everybody knows all the preparation.
I started back in December in the weight training with our new line coach, Coach Rick. He helped me out in the weight room.
Yep.
And
how about summer? Did you just get to take time off, or what was going on in the
no,
summer
sir,
for you?
there's no time off. Just kept in the weight room, and then with the team we had weight room and film and team.
Yep. So leading into the season now, and I know you've only played 2 games so far. Can you tell us a little bit about, because working with and you think about it, what are some of the successes? Talk about from your perspective and the position you play, some of the successes you've seen already within your group.
Within my group, the communication is way better from the first game on to the second.
Yeah, and so you're excited, and that's a big deal, right? Because communication, when you're talking about the position you play, that makes a difference in everything that happens, in carrying out every single snap, every time you go out there. So, do you, when you think about goals for this year, I know we're talking about, as you go through it, we got to take it game by game, but talk to me a little bit about where you see and what you want to see happen for this team as you go through. Because as a senior, obviously, this is it. You want to see this team be very successful. So tell me individual goals, tell me team goals. What are you thinking that you want to see happen for you guys?
My individual goals is just get big in the weight room and go game by game. And then team goal, we're waiting till game 6 to come to get all the players back. That's gonna help us all out.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, and we think about just coming up with every week, and we get preparation. Is there anything? Is there any insight you would tell me, like as far as for our audience, team dinners, anything fun that the team does that really kind of keeps you guys kind of grounded and also takes the edge off a little bit of some of the fun stuff you guys do?
Yes, sir. We have team meals,
Uh-huh.
and that's when we get a time to talk before the game, just prepare ourselves, focus up.
Yeah, and so as we get farther into the year, we're going to have a chance to be out there and watching and seeing you guys perform. And you're a leader on this team.
Sure.
You're a leader on that campus, right? If you were going to give a message out to anybody who's coming out to the, attain why they should come watch Dysart High School, what are they going to see? What is the attitude of your team when they get to come out and watch your team play?
It's just a high energy team, really. High energy, good positivity, and just get ready to see us hit.
Yeah.
Get 'em in the mouth. Yes, sir.
Would you say that when we ask Coach about that, and we say, that positive attitude and everything else, and he described that on the sideline, even when there were mistakes happen. What does Coach say to you when you guys make a mistake when you're coming off the field? What is that message back to you guys?
Just let that play go on to the next. We can't hold our mistakes just on that play. We have other things to do.
Right. So, Coach, I mean, I know that Pablo's not going to get into and brag about himself too much, but if you would say, what's the biggest, like you'd say, the most his biggest trait, characteristic about him that really just stands out to you as a coach?
You can have all the Christmases and all the Hinchies, but if you don't have the anchor to the line for them to follow, them two players aren't anything on the field. This is our main guy right here. He gets it done, and everyone on that line looks up to him, and they get inspired by his play, and they try to bring it up a notch, and it makes it exciting to watch him. He'll hit you downfield. They have this thing where who's getting more pancake blocks, so he wants all of them.
I saw that in my notes too. It's like you're very happy with your pancake blocks. You got 8 of those in the Ben Franklin game. Yeah. So I love to see highlights like that and to hear you guys talk about those kind of things. And you do it smash mouth. I mean, that's what football is, about hitting people, and especially an offensive lineman, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's what you want to hear. So, well, Pablo, we're excited to watch this happen. I always want to ask you guys, when it comes down to it, I mean, what do you see as your plans after high school? You're a senior. Where are you headed? What are you wanting to do?
If I have an opportunity to play at the next level, I'm gonna take it. But if not that, then I was interested in becoming a firefighter.
That's fantastic.
That's it.
We're so proud of you.
Thank you,
I'm
sir.
looking forward to keep watching you throughout this season.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, we're going to be back in just a minute.
All right, everyone, welcome back. It was great to hear from Pablo, a very determined and hardworking player. Now we're going to hear from another principal role of the team, Davon Christmas, who plays running back. He's number 12, he's also a senior, and he's been playing all 4 years at Dysart High School. Let's take a pass on over to the desk with Mr. Musey.
Thank you, Sophie. And before we get into our segment, I do want to make sure I thank BSN, who is one of our biggest supporters of DSB Live and does a lot of our, gives us a lot of our business for our uniforms, our equipment, and everything else. And they're great sponsors. So thank you to BSN. But we're really here to talk about with Javon and talk about Dysart football. Javon, for our audience, give them your full name, your position, and what year you are.
My name is Javon Maurice Christmas. I play running back, and I also play defense here and there, and I'm a senior.
So you sometimes play both sides of the ball.
Yes, sir.
That is some credit. We still got some kids that do that. It happens, I think my mind goes to Travis Hunter in the NFL right now. I was looking at the depth chart the other day for Jacksonville, but that's a whole other topic.
Yes, sir.
But you know what? That's a really talented player that can do that and can be counted on by coaches to be able to understand and know the schemes on both sides of the ball. You see that part of it. You've had a lot of success, as a within the team, and I want to go back to even some of your accolades in the past, but I know that last year you had a very successful year.
Yes, sir.
Can you talk about that a little bit? Because I think our audience needs to know what kind of player we're talking about that came off of last season, because you got a lot of awards last year.
Yeah, so last year, we had a record of 7-3, and we were blessed to make it to the playoffs, but we lost to ALA. But I had rushed for a little over 800 rushing yards, and my goal was 1,000. I was really trying to get to 1,000, but I didn't play a couple games due to injuries. So over the summer and everything, I've been really just trying to recover my body, make sure I'm healthy going into the season, things like that.
That's outstanding, Javon. And then you think about that coming into this year. You look at your team now. What's different about your team this year compared to last year?
I feel like this year, compared to last year, there's a lot more determination. We have some transfers there that are some real dogs. I mean, I said week 6 or 7, that's when they are able to come in and play, and our team's gonna be a whole different team, I feel like.
Yeah, that's outstanding, and we've been hearing a little bit about that. And I know the schedule's gonna, it's a little tougher here at the beginning.
Yes, sir.
And then you're gonna get into some of those harder games. But I don't think for you, when you look at it, and I'm gonna talk about it when I say that, think about it as an athlete. I don't think you care who they put on the field in front of you. You're ready to go do business, right?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sure that's how the players.
Yes, sir.
So what do you say to your teammates to make sure that they understand that week to week that you guys are getting ready to play?
To me, I don't really care if it's the toughest team that we get faced against. I always tell them you just gotta want it.
Yep.
You gotta go out there, you gotta smack them in their mouth first, and they're not gonna want to hit you back. So I tell them every time, every game, before every game.
That's fantastic. Well, Javon, I look at your history here. You've had 4 years now at Dysart High School.
Yes, sir.
So did you grow up in the community there
Yes,
and
sir.
everything else?
Yes,
Where did you
sir.
attend school before you came to Dysart High?
I had went to Luke Elementary, and
Yeah.
then 8th grade I had went to Riverview.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your history in the community, and so we got to get youth out there, and do you have anything to say to our kids that are and those families that are at Riverview and at Luke Elementary about Dysart High School and why they should be attending Dysart High?
I think Dysart High School is where everybody should attend, really. It's an amazing school, a great community, There's a lot of positivity everywhere around the campus, like from the teachers, from the seniors to the freshmen, like everyone has a positive attitude. They're all willing to work with each other, communicate with each other. And, it's just a great environment to be in.
That's outstanding. I love the way you talk about, when you describe everything about what's happening, you start with your team.
Yes, sir.
Team.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you bring when you guys are out at practice and everything else? You make it not about me, it's about we. I mean, is that something you feel like the coaches instill and you guys? I mean, what do you think that attitude is when you look at your teammates, and how do you portray that message to them?
Of course, at practice, we practice every day, 4 in the morning. It takes a lot I feel like it takes a lot for each one of the kids to get up at 4 in the morning and come out there and work every day. But even at practice, like we communicate, we talk about, you have to do this, you have to do that, and like just things like that.
That's fantastic. Coach, 4 in the morning practice, I mean, I'll tell you what, that brings some discipline, self-discipline to kids. I mean, do you see that? I mean, as far as them getting used to that, and then also, what do you see as the impacts of that? Because teams that have done that, I have noticed there's also a self-discipline that these kids walk away from your program with too.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's big because at first some parents were questioning it, and I had to tell them, when your son graduates, if he has a job and they tell him your shift's at 5 a.m., are you going to say, nope, I don't want that job? So it's kind of manipulating them and getting them ready for the real world, but their grades are a lot better because they have all evening now to get home, eat, rest, study, and then go, we tell them, be in bed by 8, 9, and get up. And me being a morning person, because I own a landscaping business, that's the only way I know how to go. So it's helpful. And then when you see them show up, you're like, wow, who really wants to play now.
Right.
Because you'll weed a few out that don't, because that's not for them. But if you really want it, you're going to do it. So it helps, and it shows a lot of discipline.
I loved what you said there, Coach, preparing them for a life beyond this, because guess what, too? You play at the next level as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's a job. It is, and for a student athlete in high school to understand that when you put them into that, they'll know what 7 days a week and and those 12-hour days look like. You mentioned that aspect of what it means to them and teaching them also about like how to manage their life. I'm sure that if you go back and talk to some of your players, they're going to tell you how much that impacted them as well. So, I'm going to do this with every one of our interviews, Coach, but I want you to talk about Javon for a minute, what he brings, what you've seen in it, and maybe how he's matured from when you knew him as a freshman to now as a senior.
Javon's been, he's like a son to me, actually. I'm sure I can bring that up. We have a great relationship. He's got a great mother at home, and she'll call me and be like, hey, Coach, you got to check that boy. He's yours. And I'm like, so when I see Javon at practice, I'll get on him and try to encourage him about doing the right thing. But since his freshman year, we had this bond, and he's grown up a lot. And I've stayed on him with his grades. As a player, we have to teach him right now. He could have had like 2 touchdowns against Benjamin Franklin, but he thinks he's going to get points for punishing the tackler. So instead of hitting the sideline with his speed, he cuts back, puts his shoulder down, tries to take out a player. And I'm like, you can't. You gotta start getting in the end zone and take care of that body. So we're working on that right now. And he's a great leader. The kids look up to him. He brings a lot of fire to the team, and players don't want to let him down. But he for sure. And every time he gets the ball, he thinks he's going to go make a play, and he's very confident about it. And it shows because he's got a couple of big time schools looking at him right now. They've been to the school. They sat down with them. They wanted to sign him back in signing date, but you know, he's a junior right now. I'm like, we're going to weigh out your options. So it's exciting to see where he's going to end up.
You know, Javon, to hear that description and what your coach described there, obviously very proud of you and how you've developed and grown as a young man. And I love that part because Dr. Croto, who's our superintendent in the district, you know, he played and coached, and he played college ball and everything. And one of the things I always hear him say about football, he goes, it's a simple game. Just run away from them.
Yeah.
Just run away from the tackler.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny when coach says that, you know, you hear those things, but yeah, I get that idea too. But, you know, you listen to your coach and everything goes, he mentioned also you're getting recruited.
Yes, sir.
Would love to hear about that piece. Who you're being recruited by and what's happening for your future plans.
It's a couple of schools. I have Eastern Washington University, who came down to the high school and visited me outside the University of Montana. And, you know, I talked to those two coaches and everything like that. We had some amazing conversations, but they just told me, like, it's about your grades. You know, you got to keep your grades up. Gonna see how you do this season, and, you know, just things like that. And after high school, I plan to go play college ball.
That's fantastic. Is there a favorite area you plan to, you know, when you think about playing college, what you want to maybe study? Is there something?
Oh yeah, chemistry.
Chemistry,
yeah.
Oh boy.
I've never been like too much of a math guy, but like when it came down to chemistry, like I was like, yeah.
That made sense to you.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, Javon, I can't wait to come out and watch you play some games,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
and watch this season progress. I know you're going to do great things out there on the
Yes,
field.
sir.
So, everybody, hey, Javon, and we'll take a break here and be back just a minute.
Welcome back. It's great to hear from Javon Christmas, and he's a very considerate and valuable player. Now we want to hear from our last, but most certainly not least player, number 1, Donovan Hinchy, and he plays, I'm actually not sure what he plays, but we'll let Mr. Reese tell you about that. Let's send it back over.
Thank you, Sophie. And again, we would always thank we've seen the commercials, and we want to thank BSN for their sponsorship of DSB Live and all they give to this this program here in Dysart. So, but right now we want to get to Donovan, and we are so glad you're here.
Thank you.
You're a senior. I want you to tell the audience about your, you know, I already mentioned that your year, but tell us your full name and what position you play and anything else you want to say.
Okay. My name is Donovan Prince Hinchy. I play wide receiver and DB, and
Okay. And you play DB as well, right?
yes, sir.
All right. So, and I know you said your middle name's Prince. There was a kid I coached against, Prince Amakamura. So that I like the name already.
Thank
So I already understand you're an athlete right away, right? So, well, Donovan, you mean wide receiver. Last year you had a lot of success. Talk about some of your successes from last season, because obviously I know you're going to carry that into this year, but you got to be really proud of last year.
Last year, it was a crazy season. It was good for me. I had over 1,300 yards and over 20 touchdowns, and it was just an amazing season with my team. And we all carried success because we went 7-3, but had a tough loss against ALA.
Right. So you're looking now at this year and what you want to do. How did the first 2 games go for you? You know, when you look at those, I mean, and you think you're probably going to talk as far as a team, but you know, when you think of an offensive perspective, you know, how do you feel like that went and the team is gelling, And you have a younger quarterback, right?
Yes, sir.
Throwing to you. So talk about that a little bit and how you're drawing that connection and building that connection with him.
The first game, it was a little rough because our offense wasn't clicking and our defense wasn't either. But coming to the second game, we were better, we were more disciplined, we were more hungry for this game. And our quarterback was clicking with us and reading his receivers, and our running back was going crazy too. And yeah, just
makes a difference when the running game's working for you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. It opens up things a little bit.
Yep.
Because DBs start cheating a little bit. So, hey, no, that's great to hear. When you talk, I want you to talk a little bit about, working with the coaches and I think our audience to understand that of what are the things that they have you working on within your game to develop. When you think about, and I know you've had now, how many years you've been at Dysart now?
For 4.
For 4 years. So
Yes, sir.
think about your development in your game. Is there aspects of the game they're working on with you on individually to get you better as a player right now that you feel like you've been working on maybe through the summer and going into this year?
Yes.
Is there any specific,
Anything
like,
specific?
like I could say route running, or I could say, there's different aspects they want you to be paying a close attention to. Is there things they had you working on, or was it just getting stronger and more physical on the field?
It was getting stronger, and we have a receiving coach who's actually really great at what he does. He teaches us great things, releases, routes, different ways to trick the DB and just get open.
That's awesome. Who's your favorite NFL player, by the way?
Odell Beckham Jr.
Odell Beckham Jr., the one-handed catch. That's
Yes, sir.
famous. That is
Yes, sir.
outstanding. Wow, that's a great lead in to coach compare. If you compare Donovan to any players that when you look at out there, or you think about what he's doing out there, talk a little bit about Donovan, Coach. Tell us about his great traits.
Donovan is special. When he gets the ball, you try not to blink because he's going to do something with it. Every game, he has that opportunity, and he does some things where you're like, did he just do that? And you're just waiting for that to happen every game he gets the ball. My son's the OC, and I've even told him, I said, just go to Wildcat. And we did it last game, and he walked in the end zone on a 2-point conversion. But people respect him so much. Game 1, they had a great D coordinator who was also my 2 boys that played college ball. That was their D coordinator. And he shut down Dalvin. They bracketed him, and he couldn't run free. We had a different game plan this last week, so he did some great things. And the dangerous part about it is he's really great at kickoff return and punt return. The chances of when he gets the ball, he either scores a touchdown or he gets called back. So we got to do a better job at holding our blocks and not showing any kind of hold, because when he hits that edge, it's exciting.
Sounds like the speed, and that's something that you use to your advantage out there on the field. And the way Coach is describing that, you've got, we've talked with your other teammates. What do you think the leadership trait you bring to your team? What do you think it is that you bring to them? Is it by example? What do you think it is that that's how some players, they just do it by example. Some it's the things they're saying on the sideline, or things they do in the, in other ways. What do you think you bring in that leadership trait to them?
I think I bring a little bit of role modeling, because people even from the lower levels, they look up to me as a receiver and want to learn from me. And on our own varsity, some of the receivers would also like to learn from me as well.
That's
and I think I'm a
fantastic.
role model.
Yeah, do you mind the 4 a.m. practices?
Nah, I don't mind them.
Doesn't mind at all. See that, Coach? He likes them. Yeah, anybody who's a morning person will tell you they're great. So, you got some tough opponents coming up, but predictions on your season and your goal for this year?
My prediction for the season, record.
You don't have to give me an exact record. You can just tell me we know we're going to make it to the playoffs or whatever.
I feel like we will make it to the playoffs. We have a tough game coming up against Sabino. As Coach said, they're the best team that are 0-2, and we shouldn't underestimate them. And my goals for the season are to get over 1,500 yards and over 25 touchdowns.
Well, and you know what? I would never ask a player. I would never do this because I didn't like it as a player. I'm not going to make a prediction on this. I want to focus on the next game, right?
Yes, sir.
That's where your energy's at right now. You're going to go punch them in the mouth. You're Sabino. They're up next, right? So I know that's the focus. Everything else, and you're excited for that piece. Talk to me though about, and you've heard your other teammates talking about it as a senior. this is this is it. What does it look like going into beyond high school? What are you thinking about? What's happening for you?
Coming out of high school and graduating, I would like to play college ball and just get into college and just play ball.
Have you talked to any schools at this point? And maybe Coach can speak to that a little bit more than I can, because I know that's always an aspect a coach has to look at for you guys. But is there anything, Coach, that as we look at Donovan and
Yeah, a lot of schools are interested in Donovan, and he knows what he has to do. It's going to be in the ball's in his court now. Hit the books, get them grades up, but they're definitely for sure asking questions about him, and they want him.
That's fantastic. Donovan, that's always the answer. I'm going to tell you, you make sure you get those grades right, because they will be on that. They will take you. I mean, they will want you in there. They have to know that they don't have to worry about that. And that's a piece, as Coach saying. So it sounds like you got some people that are interested in you, some schools. And have any one specific right now at this point, or we're just it's still pretty wide open?
It's pretty wide open right now. I mean, there's a lot of schools, but I know for me, I've coached some D1 players when I was at T-Bird.
Yeah.
Donovan's a D1 player up there where Christmas is at, and right now he just has to focus on his grades.
That's well, we know you're going to get there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're excited to see that. I'm excited to see you play, not just right now, but in the future. So, what's your favorite area you would want to study in college? What are you thinking?
I haven't really got into that, but I think criminology.
Yeah, maybe something along those lines then, right? Yeah. So while Javon's over there doing chemistry and doing all the forensics, you can go out and handle the criminals. So, hey. We're just wanting to focus right now on Sabino, watch you guys play this season, and this is an exciting time for Dysart football. You're leaving a legacy, okay? And you're an example for those younger kids. Any last message you want to say to all those other ones younger than you that are coming up behind you, what you would tell those younger kids to be doing and that they need to be on top of?
I would definitely say over the next summer to be hard in that weight room. They don't need the coaches telling you to do it. You should just do it. And we actually have a good receiver from Valley Vista coming up. He might be just the next me, because he's great.
That's fantastic to hear it. Coach, the weight room is, we're there. I know that's a piece that's important, and you're going to always let me know what you guys need over there as well.
And you guys have done great with that, and I appreciate everything that you've given us.
Well, you keep telling us what you need. We're going to keep going.
Thank you.
All right. We want to see Dysart High. That's our landmark. That's to me, that's what makes this district go. And you're the example, Coach, what you do with this program. I want to thank you, Coach, for being with us here today. And Donovan, you keep leading this team and with your other senior leaders, and we appreciate you coming out and talking with us.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back in just a minute.
All right, guys, welcome back. That was our quick little highlight of all of our three players from Dysart. and our coach, Coach Ganados, which he is phenomenal. He's coaching that team amazingly. It's just great to hear how all of those players have developed and where they're heading and what they're focusing on this season. I think he's a great leader.
Absolutely, Sophie. I mean, you talk to someone like Coach Ganados, who's been doing it a long time. I've known him for many, many years, and our history goes way back. And I've watched some of the coaches he's worked with, some of the same coaches I worked with,
Wow.
and he really knows how to build a program. And you listen to those athletes, the way they talk and present themselves. That's a reflection of the work he's doing with those young men.
Yes, they're so respectful. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Like they really know like where they're heading, what they're doing, and I really like that. It's important to see respect within the players too.
Well, it's something when you sit down with when you say someone that's 17, 18 years old, and you think about putting them in front of a camera, doing an interview. How's that? How they're going to do and everything. I can see that. Obviously, I think our youth are better prepared for that. Maybe just because there's more technology.
Yeah.
But you listen to the way they talk and present themselves, and teaching, a self accountability and how I talk to other people and being respectful. When you give those examples, when you say that, Sophie, I mean that's a credit to the people when I work with you guys in DSB Live.
Yeah.
Same type of thing, same respect. It's something that we should give a lot of credit to what our students are like, our student athletes are like
Right.
here in Dysart District.
And I think it's definitely important for players, again, them being 17, 18, and possibly going to play college ball. I think it's really important that they get in front of a camera and talk about themselves and their team and their community and experiences, because that is what goes into college.
Absolutely.
If you're playing college ball, like there's going to be interviews a lot. I mean, even if they went pro too.
Right. And our community, when they watch this segment, they get to see about Dysart High School. They're going to walk away with players and coaches that talk about we and not me. I forced those kids to talk about some of their individual stuff, but in reality, they wanted to keep talking about what they were doing and what they wanted future athletes to be giving to that program to make it better. And that was nice to see. So you guys actually were at that last, streaming that last game.
Yeah.
Over at Dysart High. I think we had almost 700 viewers streaming, and it's important we get the message out. We know the work that DSB Live is doing. We got to continue to share with that and let people know. I think viewership is going to go up. I think with Dysart High School being on there and getting that out into that community over there in El Mirage, and with those feeder schools, we want them to see that. So we're going to make sure that we advertise that big time and get them not just to the football game, but getting them online to be able to watch, see what our football team's doing and our sports are doing.
I think it's great to see the just abundance of prosperity within the aspect of team, that they all work together and they all know each other.
Yes.
In a way that forms them as one, like a whole team. And I think it's also great to see how they've matured since freshman year. Like all three of those players have been there all 4 years of high school, and they're seniors, and they get to know new people every year, but they all know how to meet those new people and work with them and put that all out on the field.
It's a great point, Sophie, and when you say that the maturity level and everything else that they're bringing, 4 years, those and it goes beyond football. They're leaders on their campus. They're leaders in the community. I was telling them beforehand, this is something that they're going to carry with them. This, when you stream something, when you record something, they could be showing this to their grandkids later on. But for us to have this and show this in our community and show what kind of leadership we have, show what kind of kids we have, I think it's important that our community gets to see that, and to see the maturity of these athletes and get a chance just to spend a little bit of time with them today.
Yeah, I think it's really important to go into depth on how they all are individually and as a team. And when is their upcoming game?
We have this Friday we play Sabino. Okay, so that's tomorrow night.
Right.
But we also have next week on Thursday night, we have a home game as well. So we have we want to get people out there next Thursday.
Yes.
To support the team and really come out and see these guys play. It's a lot of energy, A lot of energy
Yeah.
in that stadium.
It's looking like it's going to be a pretty good season.
Absolutely.
I think they're prepared. I think they're ready, and yeah, I think they're ready to bring it all out on the field.
You got to play. You got a playoff contender that's right there. So, well, hey, we want to make sure we thank our sponsor.
Yes, BSN, our sponsor, who gives us all our amazing swag and our merch. We love you guys. Thank you so much. They're amazing, and we really appreciate you. So that'll be all for our sports highlight today, our September sports highlight. It was great to hear from Dysart football and their coach and their players. Truly can't wait to see how their season goes.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys at the game.
See you at the game.
Yeah.